What's going on, guys? Today we are unboxing and reviewing the Knockies KP1 AirPod 2 clones. But before we jump into these, I just want to say that if this is your first time to the channel, welcome to Plug and Play. My name is J-Dub, and the goal of this channel and of this video are to help you guys make a better tech buying decision. Now, if that sounds like something you're interested in, please consider subscribing to the channel, hit that bell notification so you don't miss any other videos. Now, with that out of the way, let's jump into the unboxing and see what we get. Alright guys, so here we have the Knockies KP1. Now, right off the bat, the very first thing that you're going to notice is that the packaging here is definitely a little bit different than other AirPod clones, right? They've gone customized on these actually, which is interesting. A lot of them just try to look as much like a pair of AirPods as they possibly can, but with the packaging, they have a different picture. This is their own custom picture here. They got the Knockies branding, the KP1. They even put KP1 on the sides. So they've kind of gone customized there, and even on the back here it says Knockies Knockpods 1, which is what KP1 stands for, and then you got Knockies website here with charging case and all that stuff. So they really didn't try and go to be an exact clone. They are differentiating themselves a little bit in a market that's super crowded right now. That's actually a really smart move on their part. So you got that there, which is great. So it's a little bit different than the normal. Opening it up, you know, we've got the standard, you know, the package, the real deal, what we're looking for here, which we'll talk about in a moment. But they also went a little bit further here, and they've got this kind of foam protector on the outside, which is great. So for shipping, these guys are probably going to hold up pretty darn well. These have a nice little foam cradle in here. This plastic piece is definitely custom as well. You got your lightning cable, and you've got your manual down there, which is also customized, KP1 by Knockies. So they've gone a different route than some of the other AirPod clones in that they wanted to be known as a separate brand from a lot of the originals, which is great. So very smart move there on them. Now, when we get to the AirPods themselves, the clones themselves, that's where you get back to just being basically as close as you can to the real thing. You got your LED indicator on the front, you got your charging port, charging button here, or the I should say pairing button on the back. You've got your lightning cable port on the bottom, flip case. Now these do have, a spring-loaded assist on the case. So they do want to push themselves open, and they definitely magnetize close very nice, but you can see the LED indicator there. Pulling these guys out, they look, I mean, these, let's see if this rattles at all. So it stays pretty well. It definitely doesn't lock into place when it's open, but it definitely doesn't feel like it's gonna flip closed. That's pretty nice. So overall, that feels pretty darn good. As far as the AirPods themselves, the clones themselves, they look exactly as you should expect. Identical to the real thing. You've got your charging port, you know, your charging contacts on the bottom, which look really good. You got your in-ear sensors, which look awesome, and everything just looks exactly as you would expect them to. So overall, I think they're doing it pretty darn well, while still being able to customize a little bit with the packaging to kind of differentiate themselves. So overall, that's pretty sweet. So that's what you get in the box. These are the Knockies KP1. Now let's talk about some specs, the overall quality, where you can get them, and what I think. So as you guys just saw in the unboxing, everything is exactly as you would expect it to be and should be when you're looking at an AirPod 2 clone. Now, the only differences are basically packaging-wise and aesthetically packaging-wise, right? Other than that, they are identical to a lot of the other AirPod clones that are on the market. The differences are just that they kind of have gone a little bit more, direct with their branding to make sure that you know that they are the Knockies KP1 brand. But outside of that, when you pull them out at the base of everything, at the end of the day, these guys just look like a regular pair of AirPod 2s. And the goal here with the clones, obviously, guys, as you may know, especially if you're searching for these, you kind of know, you don't want to pay the full price. And so you're looking for something that is comparable or very close or looks identical to the real thing so that you can kind of live that Apple life without paying that Apple price. And so the Knockies KP1 really do that well. So let me just run down a couple of the specs that you should expect to get with these guys, where you can get them, and how much they cost. So at the time of making this video on the Knockies website, using the link down in the description below, these guys are currently priced at $69.99, which is a pretty good price when it comes to some of the other clones on the market. There are other websites that sell them for more, but they offer different benefits like lifetime warranties and things like that. $69.99 is what you're looking for to get basically a one-to-one copy of the AirPod 2s, which is pretty sweet. So now talking about some of the specs, first thing I want to get out of the way is audio quality and microphone quality. Now with these guys, with any AirPod clones, you have to to understand that this is not the real thing. As far as sound quality goes, they are on par with all of the other clones that I've tested. What that means is they have a pretty solid sound signature. That does lean towards the bass side of things. So the bass is kind of present throughout all of the ranges of music, so they do tend to be bassy, even when the bass isn't really supposed to be there. But if you're looking for that, if you're looking for a bassy pair of earbuds, which AirPods just in general do pack a lot of bass, these guys definitely hit there. Outside of that though, they have a great sound signature. I'm pretty happy with them when I use them. They have a good bass mid, like I said, they have a great bass, solid mids, and you do get some pretty tweety highs with different types of music as well. I would say you're going to be pretty happy with these, especially if you've experienced AirPod 2s, the originals, in the past. And so I get this question all the time in the comments, and hopefully you guys are actually watching this video before you do any commenting, but there are no flashing lights whatsoever on the earbuds themselves, and they don't have any voices in the ears saying that they're connected or anything like that. They make the same sounds and all the same chimes and everything when they connect. They look exactly like a pair of AirPod 2s, okay? So there's no flashing lights. If somebody walks by, they're going to assume that is what you're wearing, okay? There's nothing else to differentiate these from the real thing. So just getting that out of the way so I don't see a ton of comments about it, there are no LEDs on the earbuds themselves, okay? Good. All right, let's move on. So on top of that, battery life, they say that you're supposed to be able to get 5 to 6 hours of battery life on a single charge. And that held pretty true in mine testing. I was able to get just 5 hours of battery life. So the 5 to 6 hour range, I guess if you were listening to it at a much reduced volume level, you could probably squeak towards the higher end to that 6 hour range. But overall 5, it was easy for me to get to without much of a problem. And then it takes about an hour for this whole system to recharge. So fully dead, you put these guys back in the case, you put these on your charger, and they take about an hour to fully charge up again. So that's the details on battery life. And to speak just quickly also, they do have wireless charging on the case. So you guys, if you are wireless charging fans like myself, you can throw these guys on a wireless charger, walk away, and you're good to go. So you have both options, wireless charging or the lightning cable on the bottom, just like you would with the real thing. And so the last two features I will talk about really quickly are the pairing. So these guys are one-to-one in the sense that if you have an iOS device and you pop these guys open, they do have the full pairing pop-up flow that you will find on a standard pair of AirPods. So they work just like they should when it comes to that. The other thing I will mention, because I get a lot of comments about these on the clone videos as well, is that they are Android compatible. The pairing process is a little bit different, and it explains that in the instruction manual that you get in the box, but they are compatible with Android. I personally use a Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, and they work perfectly. So there you go. So with all that said, with everything listed out, at the end of the day, what do I think about them buying them at a $69 price point? So this is the same thing that this is the same spiel that I go through with every clone. At the end of the day, you're buying something that is designed to mimic the real thing, but for a fraction of the price, okay? So $69.99 is not the full price for an AirPod, for the real AirPods from Apple. But keep in mind, you are also not getting the real AirPods from Apple. So you can't, really expect them to perform or last maybe as long as the real thing. They should, right? As long as you're, managing them properly and you're taking care of them, they should last you a long time and they should work really well. Mine have worked great for a couple months now, all the ones that I've been testing and using. So I don't have any problems with them in that state. I just want to mention the fact that you are buying something that is not the real thing. Now, with that stated, you got to keep in mind, if you're trying to have the look, right? If you want to live that Apple life, you want to have people look at you and think that you're wearing AirPods, you want to feel like you're wearing AirPods, you want to walk around feeling confident in that way, and that's really what's important to you. These guys are a great alternative, right? Fraction of the price, $69.99 is the full price of these guys, and that's shipped and everything. That's great. I mean, that's a fantastic price. So overall, at the end of the day, if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for that life, these are a great alternative at a great price, especially in comparison to some of the other websites out there and the other models. The Knockies KP1s at $69.99 are a very competitive price on a clone. Now, with all that said, do I think you should buy them? I think so. I think if you're looking at AirPod clones, if you're scanning through and you're trying to find the best ones that are out there, the Knockies KP1s are definitely on par with pretty much all of the rest. And they have the Knockies brand. If you go to their website, you'll find that they're a very reputable website. I've seen nothing but good things about them as far as shipping and things like that. So they don't seem scammy, which is fantastic. So overall, if you're looking at the Knockies KP1, I approve that they would probably be a great purchase. But as usual with clones and anything like that, do your research. Make sure you go on Reddit, look around, figure out, build a profile yourself of what you think this company is and who they are, and then decide if you want to make an order on that. But if you want to check them out, you want to learn more about them, I put a link down in the description below to the Knockies KP1s on their website. Keep in mind that that link is an affiliate link, which means that if you do make a purchase using that link, that does end up giving me a small commission. Again, this is not the point. The goal is just to get you over there, but if you do end up liking what you see and making a purchase, I do make some income and it does support the channel. So I thank you for using that link to go check them out. With that all stated, and all that out of the way, hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Hopefully this helps you make a better tech buying decision. But other than that, that is it for me, and I will see you guys in the next video.